here as a kid to Soda Springs, and I worked on a chairlift. I've been here for 65 years. Just love it, and snow I love. My wife and I ended up owning a place called Donner Ski Ranch. We owned it for 46 years. Her and I built all the chairlifts that are there and all the ski runs. But in the meantime, along with that, it didn't make a lot of money, so I had to figure a way to make a living on top of running the ski resort. So I got into the backhoe business, and that got me into the snowplow business.
How does one measure a life? In years? How about 2,228 feet, give or take? That's the back of the napkin calculations I have done for the amount of snow Norm Sayler has dug through or skied over since 1955, when he first moved to the top of Donner Summit in the Sierra.
Watch how I do this. I get the snow in my box, and then I raise it so it goes over the bank. But watch and you see how I do it.
Okay.
They're running out of space to move the snow, even with skid steers like that and a blower.
And at 89, he'll be 90 in December. Sayler is probably the oldest working snowplow driver in the world.
It still gives me something to do at my young age. Why I still like to get out there and do it, although it's getting tougher to do.
Sayler is a walking encyclopedia of snow removal, so much that he knows to call his business snow plowing.
When I first got in the snow room, I call it snow plowing. And the reason I do that is because there was a guy in, I believe it was Vermont, he hired a guy to clear his driveway. And his contract said snow removal company. So the guy sued him and said, wait a minute, you're only plowing the snow and leaving it here. I want it gone. So the guy won the lawsuit because he used the word snow removal. I was using that to start with, and now I call it snow plowing because it's on your property and the snow is yours, it's not mine, I can't take it home.
While for many of us, it's hard to remember what we did yesterday, Sayler can remember every winter since he's been living up here.
One year, 1963, we had 5 feet of snow on the ground. It started to rain, that was before Christmas, it started to rain the day before Christmas, and it got rid of all the snow. California had massive floods, and we didn't get another cloud in the sky until March the 12th that year. My little ski resort that I had, we only took in $17,000 for the whole year.
In the winter, he'll routinely put in 12 hours a day or more snowplowing. Last winter added 63 feet of snow for Sayler to plow from his customers' driveways. In recent decades, it's been in the seat of a skid steer like this.
I got 5 of these things.
And what is this called?
It's a cat skid steer 372D with an Erskine snowblower on the front of it, which I happen to like them. There's all kinds of snowblowers, many manufacturers of them. I just like these for what they are. They're lightweight, good visibility when you're inside the thing working, so I don't like the bigger ones where you lose the visibility. And to me, it'll do everything I need it to do.
So essentially, describe how this works, how it gets the snow in and blows.
This is the auger on it, and that's the fan there. The auger grinds it up, pulls it into that fan, and the fan turns X amount of RPMs and throws it out that chute. And the chute is totally controlled hydraulically. You can move it back and forth and blow the snow here and there or whatever. And the beauty of the skid steer is you can reach up into the air and get snow way up. Whereas machines that are used on a lot of driveways, the box only lifts about that far off the ground. They do a great job. I just happen to like the skid steers.
Yeah.
The mobility of them, the quickness, turn around them in little holes and stuff. So
is there a limitation?
Everything has a limitation. It just, you use it and learn how to make it do its best. I think I've done that.
It's kind of ironic he operates some of the smallest snowblowers on the mountain where monsters work. From Interstate 80 to the Union Pacific Railroad. The largest snow-moving machines in the world work here and have for well over 100 years. And Sayler, as you can guess, can tell you about all of them.
Yeah, this is This is going way back. This is an early, let me see if I can get to the front. Yeah, here, this is the very first equipment. They started removing snow from Old Highway 40 in 1931. The Auburn Ski Club is the one that put that into effect. A guy named Wendell Roby. He got a hold of some people. They brought him up and looked at it, and they came up with $500,000, and they built 2 maintenance stations, and then they bought this equipment. These are the first plows on Donner Summit in 1931 to start opening Old Highway 40 because it was closed in the wintertime. And in 31 is when they finally opened the road and kept it open through most storms. Sometimes they had to close it, fight it, get it back open again, back and forth. It wasn't perfect all the time. Like the Interstate 80 today, that gets closed once in a while, and when it does, it's a mess.
But even at his age, Sayler lights up like a kid when he talks about the Union Pacific snowblower.
So I went down to Truckee, and I was lucky enough I got to get in the big old rotary snowblower and ride it from Truckee to Silver Springs, and they stopped it here and let me out. But that was, for snowblowing, to ride that machine, that was a highlight of my life, because that thing could throw snow. I mean, it throws it out there about 100 feet, and it eats lots. But some snows will stop it. So, but that was great.
I just got absolutely rocked by the spray from that massive train that just came through. Oh my gosh, what an incredible piece of machinery.
As the founder of the Donner Summit Historical Society, you quickly see much of this area's history revolves around one thing: snow.
Here, look at this one. This is a guy named MacGyver down in Truckee, California, and he was the blacksmith down there. But he made this is on track, but look, the blower that he's got in front of it, if you can see it through there.
Yeah.
But and the thing, as I was told, did work. You know.
Is that
But
where the TV show MacGyver came from him?
No. Donner Summit is known worldwide as a famous place, of course, for happenings. It was a place that the railroad came across, the Donner Party, things like that.
When we come to the Sierra to cover the extreme snowfall, we come right here to Donner Pass. And yes, that has to do with the Donner Party. This is where those unfortunate pioneers were stranded because of extreme snowfall, just up from Donner Lake at where I'm standing. Now, this statue has a lot of symbolism in remembrance of the Donner Party itself. It sits around 20 feet high. And what makes that so symbolic, that's around the height of the snow that this party was stranded in and later resorted to cannibalism. What's so fascinating to me about the winter of 1846 and just how bad it was is how we know. And it's from trees like this. They're called Donner trees. And it's from where the party hacked the trees off at the snow level. So that's why historians believe the snow right here in Alder Creek was between 15 and 20 feet high, at least, when the Donner Party was trapped here for that horrible, horrible winter. It was an early winter, and it just didn't stop. And that's why they couldn't make it up over the pass. And this was their final destination for so many of that poor, ill-fated party. It's incredible to see these old trees that saw that suffering that still stand. Near this spot, according to this sign, is where the actual tree, the pine tree, that was the campsite of the Donner families. It stood for over 150 years, and it just succumbed to Mother Nature, ironically, back in 96, the winter of 96. That's when it knocked over that tree. So again, I don't know for sure if that is an original Donner tree that the party hacked off at that level, but that's generally what it looked like.
Is it possible to be snowed in here at this point?
Oh God, yeah, you can. Not to the point to where it was like the Donner Party where you ate each other to survive, but you know, it's typical of any place. People do dumb things, and so they're snowed in. Like you hear somebody stranded way out in the middle of nowhere. That guy should have never been there. He was dumb. But I got 4-wheel drive and I can go anywhere, and that's a real problem. People look at it and say they just don't use their heads when they go to, well, I'm almost in trouble. I'm going to go a little bit further. Now I'm in trouble. And so they're stuck out there. But snowed in, I don't know. I haven't seen any of that.
Well, at least I won't have to worry about eating someone when I go up to Donner Summit, in large part because of the work Sayler and other plow drivers do. The saying, "You'll never work a day in your life if you love what you're doing," is the definition of Sayler's life.
The hardest thing for me is getting in and out of the dumb thing.
Who, it
But
seems,
once I'm in here, it's like a cocoon. It's nice.
will want to be buried in snow.
And in here, you say you have heater.
Oh yeah, heater, windshield wiper. I got a backup camera. It's pretty neat, you know. And for what I do, mainly driveways and commercial stuff, small stuff, not big plowing. To me, it's perfect. I don't do roads with it because it's not built for that. But for the lightweight stuff, the driveways, and you know, cleaning up around all these vehicles and stuff like that, just does a good job.
I'm Jonathan Petramala, and I chase stories in some of the most extreme weather on the planet. Please support what I do by subscribing, sharing, and commenting what you thought of Norm and his life in the Sierra.
Thank you so much, Norm. We
A lot of
appreciate
fun.
it.
Thank you guys for coming by.
Great meeting you.
Right.
Stay safe. We hope to see you next year.
Sounds good.